Hey everybody, I'm Jay Sullivan here. Welcome back to A Journey into Sound, my vlog, whatever thing this is that I'm doing, where I talk about my journey into sound and my life and everything else that's going on. As you can tell, there is noise out tonight. There are people moving around. My next door neighbor is cooking and it smells delicious. There are planes flying overhead. There are birds chirping in the trees. It's a heck of a day to live in the real world. It's also beautiful out today. I started rucking this week, and on my first ruck, which was only about a mile long with 10 pounds in my pack, I'm starting off light because I have previous injuries that, I gotta be kind of mindful of. I forgot both my headphones and my little recorder that goes everywhere with me that I use to write, because I use voice to text to write, and I use this also when I have ideas, so I don't have to find a pen and paper and write them down. I can just speak them into this, and that's that. Well, I forgot both of them on my first ruck, and that was interesting because very rarely do I spend time in the world without some kind of audio stimulation. I have difficulty without it. It's been said that the last thing I want to hear is my own thoughts, but that's not entirely true. It's more that I get very easily overstimulated by the world and the sounds in the world. And I also have tinnitus to a degree, which is a bit annoying and can be a source of frustration for me. So I usually have headphones on, or a YouTube video playing, or music playing, or a podcast, or an audiobook, or an audio drama, something audio that my brain can kind of focus on. And when I did my ruck, I didn't have that. Which, first of all, it's rare for me to leave the house and not think of that. It's like me leaving the house without sunglasses. It just doesn't happen. But I did. I was in a hurry to get out. I knew I needed to get up first thing in the morning and go out and do it before I sat down and got comfortable and decided I'd rather not do it. I had to get up and do it. And so I did this walk with no external stimulation and nothing to focus on but walking and my pace. And it was pretty early in the morning, so there wasn't a whole lot of world sounds out yet. It was just my footsteps and my breathing and my watch telling me to be mindful of my heart rate and all that kind of stuff, and that was really it. And it was strange to be out in the world and not have anything to separate myself from it. Not strange in a bad way, but strange in a way I'm still processing, which I know may sound odd, but it's interesting. It's interesting to be there. I try to be fully present in any situation I'm in, but when I'm by myself, especially if I'm not focused on something, I need something to focus on, if that makes sense. And so I'm still processing that. Like I said, it's a bit unusual, and the sounds of the world that I could hear sounded a lot louder. They were a lot more real than they usually are when I have a million things going through my brain. They were more real. I mean, I can't think of any other word to describe it. They were more real. Now, for the rest of my hikes, will I be bringing my little audio recorder? Absolutely, because part of what I'm going to do on these hikes is work on stories. And especially as the hikes get longer, I will have time to actually flesh out stories, maybe actually do some scripting while I'm walking. Because it's not like jogging or running where you're constantly out of breath. You can, speak into this and give lines and write a scene as you're going. But I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. I don't know if I want to do that yet. there was something pure about doing just the one thing. Which is, once again, unusual for me. My brain almost never does just one thing. It's always doing 10 or 20 things. I don't know if you guys can hear those birds, but that's what it sounds like outside our office window pretty much all day. It's kind of lovely. But yeah, there was something peaceful about it. About just being focused on that one thing. And that's not something I get to do a whole lot. And maybe when I get a little bit more acclimated to the exercise and the movement and my pace and all that stuff. Wind's picking up just a little bit. Sorry about that. But as I get more acclimated to that, maybe the one thing I focus on while I'm doing that is writing. And the exercise becomes the thing in the background. Or maybe I go back and forth. I don't know. It was very different for me. Because I'm a person who always has, multiple balls in the air, whether I want to or not. As I said in my first vlog this week, I am doing a lot of things at once. And I'm very used to doing a lot of things at once and having to not focus on a lot of things at once, but have a lot of things in my head at once. And that chaos, well, it's not even really chaos, that traffic in my brain is something I've grown very accustomed to over the past year and a half. And I don't know if it's good for me or not. I've known several times that I was real close to burning out. In fact, the end of last year, I intentionally stopped working entirely. I just stopped for almost 4 months. I didn't think about it, nothing. I just stopped and I focused on what I needed to focus on in my personal life. Getting everything set up. There is a plane going over pretty damn low. But no, I focused on things in my personal life, and I had to get all of that in order because I knew trying to do all of that and also work on audio dramas was going to burn me out. Something was going to have to give, and it was going to be me. So I stopped for a solid 3 months, literally 3 months. And I didn't pick that back up until the beginning of this year. Once I put my time and energy into getting everything kind of organized and a bit more settled, I felt that I could divert some of my energy back into my creative work and into our creative work, Solosi and I's creative work, collectively. And now she's at a point where she's taking some of that on herself as well, and she's helping out in editing and in writing and in some of the marketing stuff where she can actually contribute more, and all the weight isn't entirely on my shoulders. So, yeah, that walk gave me a lot to think about. That walk, I didn't think much when I was on that walk, but I had a lot to think about when I was done with it, which is interesting. And one of the things that I'm going to make sure I don't do is stop and record sounds when I'm on those walks, because those walks are about my health. So it's not going to be me bringing recording equipment with me and stopping and saying, "Ooh, I like the way that sounds." No, this is walking without stopping, maintaining a pace. It's exercise. And I want to keep it that way. I don't think if I start doing scripting while I do that, it will negatively affect that. because it doesn't involve stopping and starting, and it doesn't involve anything like that. All I have to do is make sure I maintain my pace and stay on the path I'm supposed to be on, basically. But yeah, it was an interesting thing, and it's been an interesting couple of days. So that's going to be my last vlog for this week, and I'm going to do some recording tonight. I'm going to do some scripting, mainly. By recording, I mean recording into this. I'm going to do some scripting, and I'm going to play some Fallout, and I'm going to chill out and let my legs rest because they're super duper sore, because I do not move a whole lot, or I haven't been moving a whole lot. And that's going to be it for now. So, until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.